A white cop pulled the trigger on a black teenager at a gas station, right in front of her mother. He claimed she was armed. But what he didn't know was that her grieving mother wasn't just any woman. She was tied to power he could never imagine. And what happened next would leave the entire city shaken. Music. Hands where I can see them. The voice cracked through the air like a whip. Officer Bradley Kane, mid-40s, square jaw, steel-cold eyes, already had his gun trained. The girl he was aiming at couldn't have been more than 15. Slim, brown skin, braids framing her face. Her name was Jada Williams. She wasn't holding a weapon, only a bottle of Sprite and a pack of gum she'd just bought inside. But in Kane's eyes, she was a threat. "Sir, please," Jada stammered, her voice breaking as she lifted her hands. The bottle slipped, clattering to the pavement. "You reached for something," Kane barked, stepping closer, finger tightening on the trigger. Customers froze. A man at the pump dropped his receipt. A woman inside pressed her hand to the glass, horrified but unmoving. Jada's breath came fast, chest rising in panic. Bang, bang. The shot tore through the morning stillness. Jada jerked, collapsing onto the concrete. Blood blossomed across her hoodie. The gum slid from her pocket, landing just out of reach. Jada. A woman in a navy suit and heels sprinted across the lot. She dropped to her knees beside the bleeding girl. This was Renee Williams, Jada's mother. 39, sharp-featured, curls loose around her face. A lawyer who had walked straight from a boardroom into a nightmare. "Stay with me, baby," Renee begged, pressing her hands against the wound, her blazer sleeves soaking in red. "Ma'am, back away." Kane barked, still holding his gun as if Jada might rise from the ground armed. Renee's head snapped up. Her voice cut like glass. "Back away? You just shot my daughter. She was holding a drink, you coward." Phones were out now. Dozens recording. Gasoline fumes mixed with the metallic tang of blood. "She matched the description of an armed suspect," Kane said stiffly. "She's 15. Renee screamed. 15. "What did you think she had, a candy bar?" Before he could reply, another cruiser pulled up. Officer Daniel Brooks, younger, uneasy, stepped out. He scanned the scene, the girl bleeding, the furious mother, the officer still gripping his gun. "What the hell happened?" Brooks demanded. "She reached," Kane said quickly. "She didn't," Renee shot back, her voice low but lethal. Brooks looked at Kane a long moment. "Did you even check her hands?" "She moved too fast." "She's a kid," Brooks said flatly. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Someone whispered, "Every time." Brooks dropped to his knees with gauze, but Renee snapped, "Don't touch her." Not after what he did. Kane stepped closer, trying to reassert control. "Ma'am, calm down." Renee locked eyes with him, silent, steady. Then she said the words that froze him in place. "You have no idea who you just messed with." Her voice wasn't loud, but it landed like a gavel. Moments later, EMTs rushed in. As they lifted Jada onto a stretcher, Renee followed, blood on her hands, eyes still locked on the officer. "This isn't over," she told him, voice like ice. The ambulance sped off. Phones uploaded. And by nightfall, Bradley Kane's name was everywhere. 2 days later, the courthouse steps were swarmed with cameras. Officer Kane walked up in dress blues, chin high, trying to look untouchable. But when the heavy doors swung open, the noise fell into stunned silence. Because stepping out was Judge Malcolm Hayes, the most respected black judge in the state. And beside him was Renee. The judge's voice thundered. 2 days ago, an unarmed 15-year-old girl was shot by Officer Bradley Kane. That girl is my niece. And I will ensure every legal path is taken to bring justice. The crowd gasped. Reporters scrambled. Then Officer Brooks stepped forward. He spoke into a mic, clear and steady. "I was there." She had nothing in her hands. Officer Kane fired without cause. "That's the truth." The square of reporters erupted. Kane hissed, "You're lying." But Judge Hayes cut him off, his words ringing like a verdict. "Officer Kane, you are relieved of duty, stripped of your badge, and placed under arrest for the shooting of an unarmed minor." Cameras flashed as handcuffs clicked around Kane's wrists. For the first time, he wasn't the man in control, just another defendant. Weeks later, Jada sat at a community forum in the park, bandaged but alive, her hand in her mother's. Renee spoke to the crowd, her voice steady, burning. "What happened to my daughter should never happen to anyone's child. But it keeps happening. And too many stay silent. That ends today. Applause rose like thunder. No badge, no title, no position will shield them from the truth, Renee declared. And when Jada whispered, "Mom, one day I want to be like Uncle Malcolm, or like you," Renee smiled faintly. "No, baby. Be better. Make sure they never forget who you are before they try to tell you who you are." The sun dipped low. The courthouse stood tall in the distance. And in a cell beneath it, Bradley Kane replayed the moment he pulled the trigger, and the words Renee Williams had promised him. This isn't over. And she had been right.